Good afternoon, guys. We are outside on this rainy, wet day at the end of October. Halloween is tomorrow night. I am checking on these worm buckets. We're going to feed them. We're going to re-net them. We're going to bring them into the house. If you guys came over from Happy's Lawn Care and Landscaping channel to watch the farming channel, you guys know we built these a while back. I showed you we started off with 500 worms. We're up to 1,250 roughly in about 5 months. And that's without taking care of them the best that I should have. I wasn't feeding them every week. I was feeding them once a month in these little buckets. So that didn't help, but they still multiplied. If you came over from that other channel, thanks. If you're a new subscriber to this channel, thanks. If you haven't subscribed and you just found us, please like, comment, and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We're going to feed these worms today, and we're going to take them inside the house. We are supposed to get a freeze next week, and I don't want to leave these outside in a freeze in these little buckets. I want to keep on multiplying. We're hoping in January when we go to feed them again, well, we're going to feed them weekly in the house, but we're hoping in January when I go through the buckets to see how many worms I have in them. I'm hoping I doubled the population to 2,500 worms, and we got more stuff. I'll show you what we got out of this. So in January too, when we go to sift through these worms to see if we got more worms in the bucket, I am going to show you guys how I made these worm buckets. Unless you want to head over to Happy's Lawn Care and Landscaping, they are on there, the videos, because we had farming on here. We separated the two channels. This is what I got from the first round. And the first round, the buckets, we had 3 buckets, and I put roughly 150 worms in each, 175 worms in each bucket. So what was it, 500 worms roughly divided by 3 buckets we did. Well, now we have 5 buckets, and there's about 250 worms in each. And this, we've had these buckets going for a month now, I think. And out of the first 3 buckets, we got all this stuff here, which is worm compost, good fertilizer. Now the goal would be for when we get to the big farm to have hundreds of these buckets going on a routine, and then sift through them all and just keep multiplying them, so we have a huge supply of this worm compost. If you guys know, fertilizer and stuff's getting hard to come by. I don't know about the organic stuff. I know for lawn care and landscaping, that stuff's getting hard to come by, and it's getting really expensive. So if I can make my own organic with this and leaves and use it all for the plants and recycle everything, that'll be really good. But let's go ahead and check these out. I'm going to put a pair of gloves on first because I put food in there. I don't know if it's going. I think this was 2 weeks ago we did the food. So I'm going to check them, feed them, and then bring each bucket back in the house. Now, nothing can leak out of the buckets. You'll see when I take them apart to drain the bottom out, which I'm going to use too for watering plants and stuff in the house, instead of using like a fish emulsion or anything. Okay, so let's check on these worm buckets and see how we're doing. I'm gonna clean these nets off before I bring any of this in the house. I want everything clean. Okay, now this one still has stuff in it, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Some of these still have stuff in them. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. Okay, so here's the first one. Oh yeah, there's a lot of worms in there, so yeah, they're definitely doing their thing. This right here is where we sift all the worm compost and stuff. So what I'm gonna do with this excess stuff that didn't get recycled through, so what I'm gonna do is, okay, so there's still food in here, and the buckets are pretty cool, but you guys seen there's still worms in here. If you dig down, they probably went down because I uncovered the thing. But if you dig down in here, let's see the worms? There's definitely worms in there. We'll see how things are going later. But this is all the liquid from it. Normally I have worms at the bottom of this, but it does not look like I have many worms at all. So we're gonna dump this liquid into another container. We're gonna collect all this up. We're gonna add, what I'm gonna do is add some more food scraps into here. And then I'm gonna lightly put back some of this stuff that I sifted out earlier on top. And then I'm gonna cut out 2 circle cardboards, and put a layer on top of there with the cardboard. And then I'm gonna put the net back on, and that should allow nothing to get out of these buckets. And then we'll bring them in the house because I want them to be warmer. If the worms are cold, they're gonna slow down in their eating process. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm on to the second bucket, and look at all the worms. I pulled this up a little bit. It ain't gonna bother me to disturb them. But see them in there? Look. So there is worms in there. They're moving around. There's other insects in there too, but that's fine. See, look. So you dig down and you can grab like a whole bunch of worms. So we're gonna leave this one. We're just gonna add a little bit of this lettuce to the top here. Then what I'm doing is taking some of this leftover sift dirt, covering that up with it some. We'll throw some coffee grounds and some of these, I don't know if they break these down. These are the brown coffee things, but I mean, I think they break them down. If not, we'll take them out later. No big deal. Some more coffee grounds. And then what I'm doing is cutting a disc out to go in the top here for each one. And then I'll stuff a piece of cardboard on top of that. And I'm letting the water get to it a little bit. So let's empty this one out, the bottom, see if any worms got to the bottom, and see how things are doing at the bottom of this one. None of them smell so far, so they're doing good. Okay, so I rescued 4 worms out of the bottom of this one. Not bad, not bad. So I'm gonna put a cover on this one, get it all buttoned up, and get the rest on. Now this right here is soldier fly larva. They say that's good if I sift all that out when I go to sift. I fed all these buckets here. They're redone, not redone. All I did was add food and do like new cardboard buttons for the top of them. Now I'm gonna get new tool, or the other tool that I have left. I'm gonna cover these buckets completely, and then we're gonna bring them into the house. Them being covered with the tool a couple of times will keep any bugs or any gnats from coming in and out. And if you're composting right, they shouldn't smell. I haven't had a problem with any of the stuff. Even when I opened it up, none of the food in the top smelled. They've been eating it pretty well. So, oh, and it looks like the groundhog's been eating my pumpkin pretty well too. And the white one. So I guess groundhogs like white pumpkins for some reason. But let me get my mess cleaned up here and get these buckets in the house. And then what I'm gonna do, it's raining. This is rainwater and a tote that's been sitting outside. This is the worm water. All I'm gonna do is mix it. It's cold, so we don't have to worry about mosquitoes. And I'm gonna let this fill up some more. With rainwater. Anything I propagate, I'll go ahead and propagate and feed it with this stuff, with the water here, and any seeds we start. So let me get this cleaned up and get this in the house, and we'll show you the final setup where we're gonna put them, and we'll keep our eye on. So in case you're wondering where we get our buckets from, we get these from we do mole scram in our other business for lawn care and landscaping. And we get about 10 or 15 of these buckets a year, and they make good for little worm bins. I've only been keeping, like I said, 125 to 250 in each bucket. So what I'm going to use this bucket for, I dumped the other mole scram stuff in there, this stuff here. And I'm going to use this bucket here to put all of my, once it dries out, see how it's all dry? All this is the worm poo. So we are going to dump it in this bucket. Okay, nice. Yes, we dumped it in this bucket. I'm gonna put the lid on it, and I'm gonna bring this into the house. And this is gonna be my container for my fertilizer. Eventually, hopefully we can produce like 10 of these buckets a month. Hopefully one day. So let's go take this inside. Let me cover this one back up because we have to put mole scram down on the client yards next week. There we go. Take this one in. I think this chicken came over here because I was over here. I'm out here getting more mint for the still. And the chicken's out here. She jumped on the vents and came all the way over here. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she eats mint. Maybe she does. Hey, that's my mint. I need it for my still. There's a very short supply out here, man. So see, guys, we got chickens too. That's one of them. She's the only one that knows how to get out. No other one does. Out of the 30 we have. You're the only one that knows how to get out. It's always you. Okay, let me finish getting this mint. So guys, here's where I ended up putting the worm buckets. Inside where it's warmer, I put rubber bands at the top. And I don't think anything gets in and out of these. I mean, maybe some can, but it's fine. A couple of gnats ain't gonna hurt anything. Oh, and here's the progress we're making on getting lemon oil. We definitely have a ring of oil now. Not lemon oil, mint oil, and it smells really good. And we've been using this in the diffusers, and it smells like mint water. We got some boiling beads now to help with the boiling process, but I still think I need a better heat source. But we're just gonna play with this for a while, and maybe in spring when we start getting more like mint and other things that we can put in here, we'll get a bigger distiller, so we can produce a lot more oil. Rachel said we have every season going on.
We have spring.
Some fuchsia.
Spring and summer with the butterfly curtains. Then we have some fall with the fall leaves.
We need winter in here.
No winter.
No winter?
No winter inside.
Well, hopefully you guys like that little worm video I did, feeding the worms, checking on them. They're doing pretty good. We brought them inside, so hopefully they do better inside. And thanks for letting me bring them inside.
I know. I was like, I don't know, man. I think that we're gonna get but he covered them
with nets and stuff. So
yeah. So we haven't had any gnat issues. That was what I was most worried about. And even growing inside, with the plants inside, you always have to be on the lookout, for inside pests. It's very easy to get spider mites. Yeah.
And the trick to that is not to let them dry out too much.
Yeah.
With the spider mites.
So we also had other plants, in the kids' school area, and we did not do
that. No, we should bring them out here though and bring them back to life. We have a money tree. Maybe that'll get us
the money
some
tree looks okay still. The money tree looks okay, and then there was something else that still looks okay out there, like some type of ivy plant, I think we have out there still. Mm-hmm. But the rest, we do not do well with, what were they?
Cactus. We killed the cactus.
Yeah, we killed the cactus. We definitely killed the cactus, and then the other one, succulents.
We killed the succulents too. I mean, you do have to water them once in a while.
Well, and I think what happened is the way that we were watering them, maybe they were just staying too moist, and maybe the soil that we put in there, because it was the cocoa fiber, maybe that was too moist. That wasn't what they needed. So we're just going to have to do more research.
We'll bring them out here where they can get a little more attention, like the rest of the plants that are.
And we also do want to mention that we apologize for not putting up the How We Met video yet. Yes.
It's coming.
Yeah. Tomorrow is our 26th year anniversary. So we have been together for 26 years. Officially dating, I guess, is when we first started dating.
Now we've been married for 21 years.
We've been married almost 22 years.
22 years?
Yeah, almost 20. February will be 22 years. So we are going to put up the video on how we met. We just kind of forgot that it was Halloween weekend. And then, of course, Halloween weekend comes along with when you have 3 young children still at home.
Yeah, we did a pinata and stuff like that.
We did pinata, we did pumpkin carving and painting, and that was just fun.
So we'll probably put that video up, Wednesday?
Yeah.
We're shooting for Wednesday. If not Wednesday, definitely Friday. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put we're making little I'm making little greenhouses. I'll show you how I'm going to do that for what we're about to clone.
Yeah.
What we're about to propagate with these plants. We have plenty of light. So we'll probably get that up Wednesday. We'll probably get the video about how we met probably Wednesday or no later than Friday.
Yeah, so it'll definitely be this week, and then the greenhouse is also this week. So we're trying to stay on somewhat of a schedule. Yeah. But as you know, we are a family of 6. And one is away off at college, but still we have a lot going on with the business, and then with also doing this at home. So
we really do appreciate you guys watching.
Yes, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And be happy, guys.
Or at least try.
Have a good night.